With geopolitical uncertainty and division in our country politically that has still not been figured out, we do see a ray of hope in some areas of our federal government with President Trump. But we can't get into what they call the Trump slump and slack on our preparedness. Today, I want to get into 5 things that you should be picking up this week to stay prepared. Now, before we get into this, I do want to say that this is just a list of things that I would be buying this week to kind of give you an idea. Maybe you're new to preparedness and you don't know where to start. Here are 5 great places to start just this week, just picking these things up. Now, I have them ranked 1 through 5, but that doesn't mean that they are in this order, whatever order it might be, or whatever items you might need. This is what you should be doing this week. So let's get into number 5. All right, number 5 on my list today is going to be ignition fuel. So that's going to be for lighters, camp stoves, whatever it is that you're preparing for. For examples here, I have regular lighter fluid and butane fluid. This is going to be for a Zippo. This will be for any refillable butane lighter. I would even, like I said, go for canister fluid that you can hook to a camp stove or a rocket stove. These are going to be important to have, especially in the north and in the south. While hurricane season is coming to an end, we have more recently seen more activity in the latter part of hurricane season, and in the north, winter's coming. So we're going to need these things to be able to, in a disaster, cook, stay warm, all these types of things. These are things that we cannot forget. These are things that are going to be very important. If we remember a few years back when Texas had that blizzard, people died from hypothermia because they were not prepared to stay warm. So today, number 5 on my list is going to be ignition fluids. All right, number 4 on my list is going to be medical supplies. And when I say medical supplies, I'm talking about either a Jace case or a case from the wellness company. These are so important to have as a prepared citizen. You never know what's going to happen, and you never know in an emergency if you're going to be able to get to a doctor or even a pharmacy to get some of these valuable medications. In these type of cases, you can get anything from antibiotics to viral medication, to even some medications that can help with the coof. All of those type of medications you can find in these cases. The great thing about Jace case is Jace Medical is now offering the ability to buy prescription medications that are non-controls that you can keep in these cases. They are anywhere from blood pressure medication to any of those type of medications that you use daily, weekly, monthly, that you might need in a disaster. I'm not sponsored by any of these companies, so what I would do is I would go to their sites and I would kind of look at which each one offers and kind of make the determination based on what your need is to buy those. For my family and myself, we went with the Jace case from Jace Medical. Okay, and for number 3 on my list, I'm going with wound cleaning supplies. These are important to have, whether it's peroxide, alcohol, or iodine. These are going to be vital in any emergency situation or any disaster. This is going to help keep wounds from being infected and clean them before you bandage them. And you can also use them to clean tools. That's the great thing about these, is they are so versatile. They're not just medical, but they're just in general good for cleaning. Iodine is great for cleaning surfaces or even tools that you're going to need to maybe cut someone open or put a tool in someone. You're going to want to clean it first. I would be cautious about iodine. There are quite a few people who have iodine allergies. That's why I would mainly focus on alcohol and peroxide, but all 3 are great to have. Another great thing is peroxide and alcohol. You can go to any dollar store and find a really large bottle of peroxide and about this size bottle of alcohol. These are going to be really important to have in any disaster scenario because the last thing you want to die from is a wound. Okay, and for number 2 on my list, we're talking about precious metals. And no, I don't mean gold and silver. I mean brass. This is a very important thing to keep in your pantry, in your preparedness plan. We can't stop buying brass because 1, we're practicing. Number 2, we're going to need it in any type of situation that may arise that we need to protect our family. So we always want to have enough. What's enough? I don't know. That depends on you. That depends on what weapons you're using for defense. That depends on what weapons you're using to hunt, to provide for your family. Those are things that you have to do personally. But I would definitely get brass this week. You can find it on sale at any sporting goods store. You can also go to websites and find great deals on brass on those websites. And you can also then just have it shipped to your house. There are also companies like Ammo Squared. I'm not sponsored by them, but it's a great idea that you can then purchase brass, and as it accumulates, they'll then send it to you. Brass is probably one of the most important things you're going to need with your defense tools. Now, you should already have your defense tools. If you don't, I'm going to put a card in this video about the different types of weapon systems that every prepared citizen should have that I've already made. This is a prepared citizen's prepper's pantry staple. Everyone should have these in their pantry. Yes, I'm talking about beans and rice. So even just canned beans here, like I have black beans, pinto beans, and these flavored chili beans. These are so important to have just in your pantry that you could be using all the time, and they're there for an emergency. What I really like about these chili beans is when you're eating beans and rice in an emergency situation and you're just getting tired of that lack of flavor, these chili beans bring some great flavor to rice, to noodles, to anything like that. It's really going to pop that flavor and it's going to really lift your spirits. But not just that, you want to do long-term storage. So here I have bags of beans and rice. These are so important to have for long-term storage. These can go in a bucket in a Mylar bag, and you put some oxygen absorbers in there, and they will last forever. Yes, these are a little harder to cook, and they take a little more of that fuel that we talked about earlier to cook. That's why I always have the cans as well, but these will last for a very long time. These are going to be staples in a survival situation, and maybe not just a survival situation. Some of us are unemployed right now. Beans and rice are a great way to kind of supplement meals and keep our families full and satisfied for a really low price. You can even get rice at your local Costco or Sam's Club. You can get great deals on cans of beans at your local Costco or Sam's Club. So this is going to be my 5th item, rice and beans. And there you have it. These are the 5 things that I would be buying this week. Again, I want to reiterate, this is not the end-all be-all ranking list. These are just 5 items that I find incredibly important for every prepared citizen to have in their prepper's pantry. It is so important that we maintain and continue to build our preparedness plan, whether it's our prepper's pantry or even our drills that we're doing when we're training it with our weapon systems, or the drills to get out of our homes or get out of situations with our families. Did you like the video? Go ahead and hit the thumbs up button. Did I get the items this week right? Is there something that you would have changed? Tell me in the comments below. Do you think that you know someone that would like this video? Or did you find it incredibly entertaining and informative and you just want to share it with other people? Click the share. Let YouTube know that you like content like mine. If you really like my content, go ahead and subscribe and click the notification bell so you're always notified when I come out with new videos. As always, I want to thank all of you for being here. I hope that this content has been informative, and most importantly, you've had fun being a part of this community. This is Wolverine Prepper. I'm Paul. Don't just be prepared, stay prepared. God bless you, and God bless the Republic.